lady told me to wait.
In my office. She told you to help yourself to tea while you were here?
No, she didn't.
She obviously didn't tell you what a joke was then either, I gather.
Was she supposed to?
Who are you?
Alan Turing.
Ah, Turing. A mathematician.
Correct.
However could I have guessed?
Well, you didn't. You just read it on that piece of paper.
King's College, Cambridge. Now, it says here you were a bit of a prodigy in the maths department.
Well, I'm not sure I can evaluate that, Mr...
How old are you, Mr. Turing?
27.
And how old were you when you became a fellow at Cambridge?
24.
And how old were you when you published this paper that has a title I can barely understand?
23.
Then you don't think that qualifies you as a certified prodigy?
Well, Newton discovered binomial theorem aged 22. Einstein wrote 4 papers that changed the world by the age of 26. As far as I can tell, I've barely made par.
My God, you're serious.
Would you prefer I made a joke?
Oh, I don't think you know what those are.
Hardly seems fair that that's a requirement for employment here, Mr...
Commander Denniston, Royal Navy. All right, Mr. Turing, I'll bite. Why do you wish to work for His Majesty's government?
Oh, I don't really.
Are you a bleeding pacifist?
I'm agnostic about violence.
But you do realise that 600 miles away from London there's this nasty little chap called Hitler who wants to engulf Europe in tyranny.
Politics isn't really my area of expertise.
Really? Well, I believe you just set the record for the shortest job interview in British military history.
Oh, Mother says I can be off-putting sometimes on account of being one of the best mathematicians in the world.
In the world?
Oh, yes.
Do you know how many people I've rejected for this program?
No.
Well, that's right, because we're a top-secret program. But I'll tell you, just because we're friends, that only last week I rejected one of our great nation's top linguists. Knows German better than Bertolt Brecht.
I don't speak German.
What?
I don't speak German.
Well, how the hell are you supposed to decrypt German communications if you don't, well, I don't know, speak German?
Well, I'm really quite excellent at crossword puzzles.
Margaret!
The German codes are a puzzle, a game just like any other game.
Margaret!
I'm really very good at games, puzzles, and this is the most difficult puzzle in the world.
Margaret! For the love of God. This is a joke, obviously.
I'm afraid I don't know what those are, Commander Denniston.
Have a pleasant trip back to Cambridge, Professor.
Enigma.
You called for me?
What you're doing here, the top secret program at Bletchley, you're trying to break the German Enigma machine.
What makes you think that?
It's the greatest encryption device in history, and the Germans use it for all major communications. If the Allies broke Enigma, well, it would turn into a very short war indeed. Of course, that's what you're working on. But you also haven't got anywhere with it. If you had, you wouldn't be hiring cryptographers out of university. You need me a lot more than I need you. I like solving problems, Commander. And Enigma is the most difficult problem in the world.
No, Enigma isn't difficult, it's impossible. The Americans, the Russians, the French, the Germans, everyone thinks Enigma is unbreakable.
Good. Let me try, and we'll know for sure, won't we?
Welcome to Enigma. The details of every surprise attack, every secret convoy, and every U-boat in the bloody Atlantic go into that thing. And out comes gibberish.
It's beautiful.
It's the crooked hand of death itself. Our wrens intercept thousands of radio messages a day. And to the lovely young ladies of the Women's Royal Navy, they're nonsense. It's only when you feed them back into Enigma that they make any sense.
But we have an Enigma machine.
Yes, Polish intelligence smuggled it out of Berlin.
So what's the problem? Just put the intercepted messages back into the Enigma and you'll
But
get
it's
the
not
original...
that simple, is it? Just having an Enigma machine doesn't help you to decode the messages.
Very good, Mr. Turing. To decode a message, you need to know the machine's settings. Now, the Germans switch settings every day promptly at midnight. We usually intercept our first message around 6 a.m. which gives you exactly 18 hours every day to crack the code before it changes and you start again.
5 rotors, 10 plug board cables. That's
1 million.
1,000 million.
No, I've got it. It's million. Oh, it's in the millions, obviously.
It's over 150 million possible settings.
Very good.
159, if you want to be exact about it. 159, with 18 zeros behind it. Possibilities. Every single day.
Gentlemen, meet you, Alexander. I personally selected him to run this unit.
Didn't you...
Mr. Alexander won Britain's national chess championship.
Twice.
You're not the only one who's good at games around here, Turing.
Are we to work together then? I prefer to have my own office.
You're a team, and you will work as one.
I don't have time to explain myself as I go along, and I'm afraid these men will only slow me down.